Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about a case out of Ohio. And this is one of those investigations. The door opened, and what authorities say they found inside of the home has now turned into one of the most disturbing child neglect cases in the country. 16 children, one home in Hamden, Ohio, 4 adults charged, children reportedly outside of the visibility of school, child care, medical records, neighbors, and the system that was supposed to catch the warning signs before it started. We got a lot to talk about. It's a doozy on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like.
Bear with me.
I'm an unbreakable soul. Through the fight and flame, my scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my girls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Remaining clutch, better tighten the pearls. Drop the cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, or anywhere on Kick. You have a lot of options. Boy, that threw me off. I'm used to my little drill, my little bit here. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Today is July 5th, July 3rd, 2026. It is currently 8:37 p.m. in the East Coast of the United States, and my there we go. You can get me. You can tell me it switches sometimes. I apologize. Tonight we are talking about. Oh, Lord have mercy. You guys have asked for this case for me to cover, and here I am. I'm going to cover it specifically for you guys. 16 children found in a 12 by 12 home, shall we say, in Ohio. And it's truly one of the most deplorable conditions I've ever seen. And we're going to get into all of it, everything that we know right now, who this family is, press conferences, sheriff releases, all of that. And it really reminds me of what was the family, this family. Remember this family? I'm trying to remember who they are. Look at them. It reminds me of this family. You guys remember what I'm talking about? I can't remember. I think it starts with an H. I don't know if it starts with an H. I can't remember. Turpin family. That's who it was. Turpin family. Well, I think might be worse. Dare I say? Might be. Not really sure. You guys can, I don't know if they even need to be compared, to be honest with you. It's all horrible. Guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share this live stream out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would consider hyping this video, you get 3 hypes a week on YouTube. If you don't use it, you lose it. And you have to do it after the live stream on your mobile device. Hello, Possum. Good to see you. Connie, Denise. Who else we got in here? Lolo, Shauna. Thank you so much for 5 minutes. I thought the same thing. And the guy in Connecticut, who set the house on fire to escape. Yeah. We are talking about people living in feral conditions. If you are familiar with the I can't think today, guys. I apologize. The family. What's the family that live in West Virginia? Thank you, Mish. What's the family that lives in West Virginia? They were on soft white underbelly. Whitaker family. They do not live far from me. They live really close to me. Within an hour, I would say, or so. So this is the thing about, it's one of those things where, poverty and all of this thing just takes kind of a root. And you've seen it, you've seen a lot. So we're going to get to it. I'm in Southwest Virginia. Oh yeah. Hey, Virginia Carolina Pickers, good to see you. Denise, Shari, Hamatud, Rescue Dog Mama, good to see you. This is beyond sad. It's unimaginable. Such an evil world. Yeah. And it's bad. It's really bad. So for those of you that don't know about this case, this takes place in Hamden, Ohio. And let me just kind of show you what we're working with right here. Okay. This is the 4 that was arrested. And get this, they didn't come for these 16 children. They came on a completely separate reasoning. and they found these children. Hey, Chemistry Queen, 24 months. How you doing, girl? Thank you so much. Love you to pieces. Appreciate you, darling. Thank you so much. How you doing? Hey, Catherine. Lolo. Good to see you, babe. Yeah. And clearly, hygiene is not lacking. It's lacking, right? Justin, birthday coming up. Your birthday or my birthday? My birthday's coming up. Oh, Lord, is it ever? So authorities say, so this is in Hamden, Ohio, Vinton County child neglect case. Authorities say 16 children, reportedly siblings, were found inside a home on Ohmer Street in Hamden, Ohio, after law enforcement executed search warrants during an unrelated ongoing investigation. The children ranged from 18 months, babies, to 18 years. Officials say that they were found in deplorable, filthy conditions, with reports of human waste, trash, and children being largely confined in a small room for several years. Several children allegedly had limited communication skills and reportedly could not even speak, verbalize. We're talking about feral. The 4 adults arrested are Gary Siders Jr., Elizabeth Siders, Gary Siders Sr., and Christina Siders. They were arraigned in Vinton County and faces 16 counts of endangering children listed as second-degree felonies, and their bonds were $300,000 each. Officials say 7 of the children were taken to the hospital, with reports that 2 were flown to trauma centers. That bad. One report said at least one child was in critical condition. Yes, he is in the intensive care unit, from what I understand. Though the children's medical conditions obviously are not going to be released because they're children. The children are now in temporary custody protection of the Ohio child welfare officials. And, this is the question. How could nobody see this? How could nobody know about this, right? But it happened, and it happened for years on end. Okay, we're going to go to ABC 6. This is not for the faint of heart. I'm just going to tell you. I got pictures. I've got reports. I've dug all of it up for you guys. So here we go.
Evil. Those were the words used to describe what was happening behind closed doors at a home in Vinton County.
4 suspects are facing serious charges now after 16 children were discovered in what authorities call a house of horrors. Sheriff's deputies searched that home on Tuesday, finding kids covered in feces, urine, and filth, held in a 12 by 12 room for 4 years. Detectives say some of them were so ill they were close to dying.
We have team coverage of this unprecedented investigation rattling a small town and beyond tonight. Chief Investigator Lisa Rontala is digging into how the family kept these children hidden there for years. First, we begin with Annabelle Kinney, who talked with neighbors living doors down from this horrific scene.
This is the home where the 16 children were being kept. Neighbors that live just across the street say if they would have known what was happening, they would have jumped in to help.
It's disgusting, and I didn't sleep a whole lot last night, and I prayed a whole lot that that all them kids get better.
It looked like something out of a third world country. That's how Ohio Attorney General Andy Wilson described the conditions inside the home where investigators say 16 children were being kept.
Just almost beyond comprehension that this stuff can happen in our country, and that it can happen in a house at the hands of people who are in charge of taking care of kids.
Wilson says 7 of the kids were sent to Columbus area hospitals on Tuesday.
So this is the house right here. And it's not much more than a room, really. I mean, you got 16 children 4 adults, 20 people, right? 20 people in this little home. And this is the thing. I have literally traveled all over this planet. I have been, you guys know, I've been Europe, Middle East, South Asia, anywhere. I've been a lot of places. And I am from Appalachia. I am very proud to be from Appalachia. The people here will help you. They will literally give you their shirt off their back when a lot of them don't have a lot to begin with. They really don't. They don't have a lot to begin with, but they will give you the shirt off their back. But that being said, people don't get in other people's business here as well. Like, you just kind of like, if you need help, we'll give it to you, whatever. But they're not gonna, get in your business. I guess they will, is what I'm trying to say here. Very good people, very non-judgmental, if you will. I mean, like I said, I am as Appalachian as they get, and I was a little bit different than most of my Appalachian folks. I came out singing with a purse in my mouth, pretty much. And people, people just never thought anything of it. You know what I mean? It was just who you are. People just, here you are who you are. And I don't know. It's really saddens to me that this is just, these 16 kids that live like this, who truly don't even know any words. They've got a fight for their lives right now.
Josh Odell says he can see the backyard of the home where police say the kids were being kept and hidden.
We have a little girl ourselves, so it immediately alarmed me, like there's some very bad people that was just right there.
He says in his 5 years of living there, he's never seen any children and wants more answers.
We're going to get to it. Yep.
Did they give birth at the hospital to all these kids? Where's those records? And something that struck me is that these people are not from around here.
Officials say the children were not enrolled in school.
It doesn't seem like these children were actually born in a hospital. You don't have to be born in a hospital, but was there any care? What happened when these kids got sick? Did they just treat it at home and let the body, take care of it, or what?
The Vinton County Sheriff says due to the children being isolated and some children being developmentally disabled, it has impacted the investigation.
It's one of the investigative challenges we have to face is that they are limited. They can't communicate.
Now, investigators say the suspects are the kids' grandmother, grandfather, and father and mother, and that they could have been living in a 12 by 12 room for years. Reporting live in Vinton County, Annabelle Kinney, ABC 6 News.
Annabelle, thank you very much. Investigators say that.
So, what led them to the house originally? Law enforcement went to the Ohmer Street, Ohio home in Hamden, Ohio, around 10 a.m. Tuesday to execute a court-authorized search warrant as part of a ongoing investigation. While executing the warrant, investigators found 16 children inside. The Ohio Attorney General release does not identify the original investigation in detail. WSAZ, which is I I think they're in Ohio too, but they're in West Virginia as well, found court records showing Gary Siders Jr. had a separate criminal complaint for 4 counts of public indecency. An alleged incident dates back to May 23rd and May 27th, May 29th and May 31st. A warrant for his arrest was dated June 30th, the same day the investigators raided the home and found the children. So it was a arrest warrant for Gary Siders Jr. And can you imagine when they walked in this home? One second. When they walked in this home and saw this, let me just, oh my God. Let me just show you this home. Very tiny home. Look at this. This is the home. Right here. I mean, the porch is bigger than the house. Well, they actually had more children, but some died at birth, from what I understand. I mean, how could you even, with 20 people in this house, how could you even move? I mean, honest question, how could you even move with this many children? You couldn't. No way. And I mean, look at all the look at the trash. Like, it's just unbelievable. What's that show, 19 Kids and Counting? We've all know about that show because of Josh Duggar, the Duggar family. I mean, look how big their house was. And just absolutely crazy. Barbara, welcome to the Pearl family, girl. How you doing? Thank you so much.
I hope people are paying attention to this.
Welcome to Clutch Them Pearls, yeah, you're in the clue. Shine bright like the stars, this world never knew. We're dancing, laughing all around this world. Hold tight, shine bright, you're part of our pearl.
Welcome, Barbara. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you, my darling. Really do appreciate you, Justin. It's where I am at, really. Like where you live now? Where you live now? Okay. So, like I said, it does kind of remind me of the Turbin family and all that. Now, these kids have to go somewhere. They really have to go somewhere. They were in court today, by the way. And we're going to get to some of this right here. Whoops. Wrong one.
Suspects' attorneys today and joins us live in studio now. Carla, what did you hear today?
Well, each of the 4 Siders family members all have court-appointed attorneys. Dorian Baum, he's the attorney that's been assigned to represent Gary Siders Sr. He's the grandfather of the children. The attorney hasn't had a chance to meet with him yet in jail, but says he has concerns about his competence.
Do you understand all that?
On Wednesday, Gary Siders Sr. was arraigned alongside.
I mean, this is the thing. I don't think the parents are as they may not know the whole court process, because to be fit for a trial, you have to be able to help out with your trial, right? And these parents, they absolutely still went to the Dollar General down the street, and they would pay allegedly with multiple cards and all that. So they knew how to get around. You know what I mean? They probably don't, they're probably not that bright, but they're, they haven't taught their kids that, apparently. but nonetheless, they can probably help out.
Gary Siders Jr. Next, Christina Siders sat next to Elizabeth Siders for their arraignment. All four are facing 16 counts of child endangerment. During the hearing, Gary Siders Sr. had a hard time responding to the questions from the judge. His attorney says he found that demeanor concerning.
Not immune to the commentary that's been online. Some of it has been particularly cruel to my client, which, look, I can't force the internet to be more kind. However, just by looking at him, my first impression is I have concerns about his confidence. I have concerns about his mental health. I have concerns about his ability to assist in his own defense. These are all things that are bedrock conditions you need to move forward in any case.
Right now, all four of the Siders are in jail on that $300,000 bond. Coming up at 6, I'm speaking with a child psychologist about the long road that these 16 children have ahead of them. Back to you guys.
Carla, thank you for continuing coverage of this.
Now, everyone lives differently and all that, but this is truly about the health and the safety of these kids. And we have to ask ourselves, particularly, if this is in your community, how did we miss this? How did we miss this? Did they never, hey Daff, good to see you, babe. Did they never come out of the house, all of them? Or what? Hell, they had to come out of the house, didn't they? So we're going to give credit to WBNS 10 TV, WBNS 10 TV.
Questions remain on what tipped off investigators to the discovery of 16 children living in deplorable conditions inside a Vinton County home. Tonight, we're pushing for answers. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6 on the air and on the stream. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Authorities made that discovery Tuesday after getting a search warrant for the home. They arrested 4 members of the Siders family. All are charged with 16 counts of endangering children.
I don't know, like I was thinking earlier, like the Siders family, and I'm trying to be, somewhat respectful, not trying not to talk down to what they did was evil. But like the Siders family, like that reminds me of like something you would hear in a movie. Or the Turban family. It's like something you would hear in a movie. It just sounds kind of creepy to me. I don't know about you guys, but it just sounds kind of creepy to me.
Enforcement was working on an unrelated investigation and did not expect to find those kids there.
Well, we have live team coverage tonight. We're going to start with 10 TV's Carla Rogner.
And she is live in Vinton County right now. Carla, what are you learning tonight?
Yeah, well, investigators have been tight-lipped about what led them here in the first place, but we got court records that show there was a warrant filed for the arrest of Gary Siders Jr. on public indecency charges. It's dated the same day that the children were found behind these walls.
Nobody knew. Well, we're so close in, I understand, but it's heartbreaking.
Out for a walk with her dog, Janet Wilberg couldn't help but walk past the Siders family home.
Oh, it's just heartbreaking. Them poor kids. It's awful.
She and other neighbors still grappling with how 16 children could have been living inside the home in conditions that the Attorney General has called pure evil.
But you don't know, you can't do anything.
So what put the Siders family on the radar of law enforcement? Records from the Vinton County Court show on June 29th, a request was filed for a warrant for Gary Siders Jr. The warrant was served the next day, June 30th. It lists 4 public indecency charges for incidents at the Ohmer Street home on May 23rd, May 27th, May 29th, and May 31st.
I've got those documents we're going to look at next.
This is what led investigators to the House of Horror. So far, they've only revealed a parallel investigation was underway at the time of the discovery. But regardless of how it happened, neighbors are just glad the children are now free.
They come on an unrelated charge, unrelated incident, and then they stumbled upon the kids. I'm just glad they found them because they said in 24 hours they could have been dead.
Yeah, we stopped by the Vinton County Sheriff's Office today to try to get a copy of those incident reports from the incidents with Gary Siders Jr. back in May. We're still waiting on those. In the meantime, the 4 Siders family members are all still in jail on a $300,000 bond. Reporting live in Vinton County, Carla Rogner, 10 TV News.
Okay, so we're going to go I'm going to show you these documents. Credit's going to go to our friend Plunder. And I want to show you this right here. Bear with me as I pull it up. Thought I had it right here. Okay. I swear I just had it. Bear with me, guys. 1 second, if you don't mind. Okay, maybe, is that it? Yeah, okay, I had it. Sorry, looking at the wrong one. All right, so State of Ohio miscellaneous agency versus Gary Siders, 182 Ohmer Street, Hamden, Ohio. To the bailiff of the Vinton County Court, greetings. You are hereby commanded to take the body of Gary Siders and have him or her before the court. So this was the warrant, and it is dated June 30th. June 30th is whenever the warrant happened. And this is what actually led them to the house. He had some, I think, indecent exposure kind of warrants. And he had 4. And it was public indecent, from what I understand, exposure. 4 counts, 630, all filed that day. The warrant was recalled 7-1, hearing 7-9 at 10:45 a.m. pre-trial. 6:30, case was filed with court. Warrant was issued for defendant for as requested. And here we have Gary Siders Jr., $300,000 over here in the corner of his bond. 7-1, he was booked 7-1 2 days ago. And of course, we have the 16 counts of child endangerment, 4 counts of public indecency. This is, of course, the home. It's just really unimaginable. People would say, like, when they would go to the grocery store, that there would be this smell that would, if you were behind them or whatever. I don't even know if there was like running water. I don't know if they'd be cooking food or something else like that. All them babies make me think mom probably wasn't or hadn't. So from what I understand, they would buy a lot of junk food and a lot of processed food and stuff like that. No water. Perfect. Great. Oh, God. It's amazing. Just amazing. Got the crime scene unit out there. Here we go. Complainant being duly sworn that Gary Siders in Hamden, Vinton County, Ohio, on or about May 23rd, 2026, unlawfully did recklessly expose his private parts under circumstances in which his conduct was likely to be viewed by and affront others who are in Gary Siders' physical proximity and who are not members of his household in violation of 2907.09A1, 2907.09C2, publicly indecency M4. The offense is contrary to the form of the statute in such case made and provided and against the peace and dignity and the laws of state of Ohio. So he I don't know, he was exposing himself. I guess he was trying to find someone else to, join his clan member, whatever the hell, we call it, maybe he's trying to get another wife. I don't know. He said, where you been, girl? Good to see you, baby. How you doing? Because of the limited verbal abilities of the children, it's so sad. Yes. I mean, one child, think about this. If they hadn't have went there, the child that is in ICU right now would probably be dead. No school, none at all, zilch. No doctors, no running water, filth, all of that. Hey, General, I told you I would. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, darling. Thank you very much for your support, dear. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Very sad. Very, very sad. So there was allegedly, they had, how many sets of twins is there? Is there like 2 or 3 sets of twins? There's like 2 or 3 sets of twins. Look at this.
2 emotions.
Oh, no. Actually, hold on. This is what we need to do. We're going to come to this in a minute, but we're going to watch this first. Where the hell is it? Let me find it. 1 second. Okay. Watch this. You guys are going to flip out. WBNS, credit's going to go to our friends at WBNS 10 TV. Batten down the hatches, y'all, because it's about to get real.
Attorney General's office. We will hear this afternoon from Vinton County Prosecutor William Archer, Vinton County Sheriff Ryan Kane, and then Ohio Attorney General Andy Wilson. At the conclusion of the prepared remarks, we will take a brief question and answer session. Thank you.
One of the sets of twins died, I think, right?
At 10:30 today, the 4 defendants were arraigned on 16 counts of second-degree felony child endangering. They were assessed a $300,000 cash or surety bond per defendant. They were ordered to have no contact with each other as co-defendants. They were ordered to have no contact with the victims. We believe, will be requesting court-appointed counsel.
Really?
And will anticipate getting ready for the next stage, which at this point would be a preliminary hearing if they request that, or if they don't waive it. And
yeah, I'm going to show you
that'll
that
be with their counsel. Right now, the abuse, neglect, dependency complaints that have been filed are being heard by the Vinton County Juvenile and Probate Court. The initial hearing occurring now. We are asking for temporary custody to Job and Family Services. The children are safe. They have been placed. We have some other issues we're still dealing with for their safety, but they are currently in a good situation and are being protected. The last thing I want to mention very quickly, particularly for our local community folks, is this is an intra-family situation.
You know something? It would not surprise me, because I don't think they gave birth at the hospital. If there were children who were days from passing, I would bet there would have some already passed. I hope they searched the property. Well, they've lived in multiple states too. I think they were in West Virginia, they were in Ohio, and then they were in, I want to say, Wisconsin.
This is not human trafficking. There is nothing to put our other children at risk. This is clearly involved a multi-generational family in a very limited situation. We know the early reports came out that some of this might be going on, but we want to assure the public that their children in Vinton County are safe, and they do.
Now, this is what happens, and sometimes when people move, CPS will contact the other state, but you have to know where they live and where they're moving to for them to contact CPS in another state. And that's why there needs to be a national CPS database. I've said this for years now, because if CPS, let's say these guys move from Ohio, they've had CPS cases. Then they moved to Wisconsin. And of course, they'll have CPS cases there as well. They can pull the information from Ohio or wherever the hell that they've ever lived and use that information. There needs to be a national database. We have databases for S offenders. Why can't we have a national database for our children, the most vulnerable in our society? Why? It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. Because, again, sometimes CPS will know where they're moving to and they'll contact, and that's great. But 99% of the time, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So there needs to be this database.
Not have to worry about these defendants. I will now turn it over to Attorney General Andy Wilson.
Sure. Sorry about that. I just wanted to touch on what the prosecutor had said. Yesterday, I know everybody's got a lot of questions. The nature of the crimes, we have a lot of hurdles that are real sensitive that we want to get you guys information as quick as we can, but the age range of the kids there's a lot of specific hurdles involved in this crime. We will get you that information as soon as we can. We just want to let you know that, also to touch back on that, the community is safe. They're just as safe as the day before you learned that this had happened. And we're still working on it. We're going to do the best we can to make sure you guys are informed. So, thank you.
Okay, I'm Andy Wilson, Ohio's Attorney General. I want to open up by saying, like I did yesterday, like I do every time I talk about a criminal case that's just been charged, that under our American criminal justice system, everybody who is charged is cloaked in the presumption of innocent, and they remain innocent unless and until they are taken into court and proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That being said, I'm coming to this press conference directly from the Sheriff's Office, where I had the opportunity again to sit down with Sheriff's Office detectives and with some of our BCI agents. And I was briefed, updated on the status of the investigation and the case. And I actually had the opportunity today to look at some of the evidence of the case. I was out at the scene with our agents and the detectives yesterday, so I saw the location, I saw the condition that it was in. Some of the evidence, yesterday when I saw the location, the kids were already gone. They were being treated at the hospital. The evidence I got to see today was some evidence where the initial discovery of the children was captured or documented. And again, I've done.
That's a good question. I don't know where their financial aids came from. Probably the older man's Social Security check for a lot of
cases for a long time. And I've been in incredibly poverty-stricken areas in the inner city. I've been in poverty-stricken areas in rural Ohio, and I've just never seen anything like I saw today with respect to those kids. As we sat and we talked about it, the team kind of talked about it, it really looked third world. It's the type of thing that we're not used to seeing here in America, where our children.
Thank you, Magdalena, for your gift, baby. Appreciate you.
We have an obligation as parents, guardians, and custodians to
love you, darling.
Love our kids, to care for our kids, to ensure that they are safe, that they are well fed, that they have safe conditions to live in. That's what we expect here in America. And again,
yeah, from what I understand, the kids never left.
What I saw today, the evidence, what I've seen.
Can you imagine how scary this has to be there? Because this is the thing. What's normal for me might not be normal for you, and what's normal for you might not be normal for me. We all live differently, but relatively the same, unless you're living in a condition like this. Can you imagine living in this chaos, in this small fucking room with 20 people, never going outside, and then police coming in taking them away and separating everyone. This has got to be a mind for these poor kids. God, oh man, it breaks my heart. Ugh. So sad. I've lived no water as a kid, not with 15 siblings. Justin, those poor kids probably don't know what's going on. Poor babies. Oh. Oh, thank you, Rescued Mama. Appreciate you, honey. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Some of them had left, according to the Dollar General employee. Yeah, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to the oldest one.
Up to this point in this case is just almost beyond comprehension that this stuff can happen in our country, and that it can happen in a house.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for gifting. Appreciate you, baby.
Of kids. In looking at,
if you receive that, make sure you thank Tammy, please.
I can tell you without hesitation that a lot of credit has to go to local law enforcement, to Ohio BCI. I have the superintendent of BCI, Bruce Bijanowski, with me here today. And I have the on-scene supervisor, Jim Mulford, who really, it was his team that put this case together and worked with local sheriffs, deputies and sheriff detectives in putting this investigation together. And they took it to the prosecutor's office to get the warrant, or at least have the warrant
Thank you,
approved.
Grace, for your flow state,
And the reason
darling.
I say
Appreciate
that
you.
is because, again, a lot of credit goes to the men and women of this investigative team, because I'm telling you, in what I've seen up to this point, I think if they would have waited another 24 hours, there was a very high probability that we'd be dealing with a death or multiple deaths.
And this is the thing, right? These situations never get better like this. They only get worse. And just like someone said, now it makes me wonder if others have died in that home and we just simply have no idea about it. Because I believe this case is going to be one of those cases where a million layers are peeled back.
Of these children. I'm not going to go specifically into the medical conditions of the kids, other to say,
thank you, Tammy,
that is since the discovery of this situation, as you heard the prosecutor say yesterday, our number one concern has been the physical well-being of those children. Several of the children were, all of the children were examined and treated. Several of the children, I believe 7 of them, were taken to Columbus hospitals. And as I told you yesterday, I think at least 2 of them were care flighted. Those children, again, continue. We continue to treat and make sure that they are okay. Their physical well-being is our number one concern. But we also have to be concerned with their mental and emotional well-being as well. And I can tell you on behalf of the investigative team, on behalf of the prosecutor, on the sheriff's office, that is the number one priority, is make sure that these kids are taken care of physically, mentally, and emotionally. And part of that, as you heard the prosecutor say, is making sure that they are placed, that custody of these children is removed from the people who did this to them, and that these kids are placed in safe, loving environments where, again, it's going to take a lot of work to address.
Well, this is the thing. These people have moved so many times that they were really running out of places to move in Ohio. So they have moved and moved and moved and moved. So these investigators are going to have an absolute case. Just all of the homes that they will have to go and check. I wonder if they will bring cadaver dogs at the home. This is the thing, though, Mohawk. With there being so much feces and all of that, sometimes that can confuse a cadaver dog as well, because cadaver dogs get the scent off. It's called cadaverine and putrescine. You know about this, Mohawk. And when your excrement has cadaverine, I think it's cadaverine or putrescine, one of them in there, and like feces and stuff, it can confuse the dog as well.
The emotional harm and some of the issues that are going to result from this, but we need to make sure that those kids are surrounded and loved and supported by people who truly care for them. And we talked to the investigative team this morning, and it appears from the evidence in this case that these kids have been in a position where people they should have been able to trust to take care of them have failed them. Not only failed them, but harmed them. And it's now up to us to stand up for those kids. And you saw that yesterday from the detectives, the agents who went in and removed the kids from this physical location. But now it's on the system, and working with Prosecutor Archer and talking with him through the case, he understands fully that one of the best ways that you can help these kids, one of the best ways that you can address their long-term emotional and mental needs is by holding accountable the people who harm them. And talking to him about the evidence and talking to him about his plan for the case, I am confident that he's dedicated to seeing that justice is done for these kids, and that the community, again, remains safe for everybody. We have offered the help of the Ohio Attorney General's office any way we can. We have our Special Prosecutions Division. I have Jimmy Lowe, who's the Deputy Attorney General for Law Enforcement. He's been down with us all morning. We've offered up prosecutors from our Special Prosecution Division to assist, and I believe we're gonna partner in helping with that case. But our role is one of support and leveraging our resources. I want to thank Governor Mike DeWine. I talked to Governor DeWine a couple times yesterday. I talked to Kara Wendy, who is the director of the Department of Children and Youth, ensuring that the needs of these kids, the placement of these kids, because as you can imagine, placing 16 kids in a county of this size taxes the resources. I have assurances from the governor and from the Department of Children and Youth, the governor's staff, that they will provide whatever we need, whatever resources we need to support these kids and help protect these kids. The other thing I want to say is this,
Okay, so Elizabeth Siders, she was born around 1993, now age 33. She's at the center of, this is coming from Dr. Margaret Joe, at the center of major ongoing child endangerment case in Vinton County, Ohio that broke. $16 counts of child endangerment. Authorities rescued the 16 children ages 18 months to 18 years. The children were kept mostly in a 12 by 12 foot space in poor medical condition with developmental delays and some being able to speak basic language. Officials compare it to a, quote, third world, end quote, condition, and said the condition appeared, quote, feral, end quote. The verified facts of early life and marriage. The background of Elizabeth grew up in Gallia County, Ohio. Public details from her life before her early teens are very limited. No extensive information has been released about her preteen years. She was first pregnant at age 13 years old. Family members and people connected to the case have publicly stated that Elizabeth became pregnant at approximately age 13. This is not yet detailed in official court filings or mainstream news confirmation as of early July 2026, but it is consistently reported in family accountings circulating online. Marriage at 15. On July 31st, 2008, 15-year-old Elizabeth Russell married Gary Siders Jr. He was then 18 or 19 at Mason County Courthouse in West Virginia. Her parents, Brian Ray Russell and Lori Ann Raines, gave explicit consent along with the presiding judge, then Circuit Court Judge David Nibbert. The couple had then been living just 2 houses apart in Gallia County, Ohio. Gary had completed 9th grade. Elizabeth had completed 8th grade. The marriage occurred in West Virginia, the state over, with her parents' consent. This matches the description of her now husband and his parents taking her across state lines in Ohio. At the time, had restrictions on very young marriages that West Virginia laws allowed them to navigate. West Virginia, by the way, no longer allows that. Immediate aftermath, their oldest child was born in May of 2008, just 2 months after the wedding, confirming she was already pregnant at the time of marriage. Grooming, parental failure, and context. The circumstances strongly support the view that she was a little girl who was groomed and failed by the adults around her. She was only 13 when she became pregnant, meaning that SEXUAL relationships began when she was just a child, and Gary Jr. was a teenager himself, likely around 16 years old. The parents not only failed to protect her from an inappropriate relationship and pregnancy, but actively consent to her marriage at 15 and relocating across state lines for the wedding. She had limited education, although 8th grade, and entered adult responsibilities, marriage, repeated pregnancies, and motherhood while still a minor. Living nearby, 2 houses apart, and the quick progression to pregnancy plus out-of-state marriage fit patterns often described as grooming, especially with an older partner and parental involvement involved there, right? Many observers, including family statements and public commentary, describe this as classic exploitation of a child. She was not protected, but was sexualized and impregnated young, and was then channeled into a life of early marriage and high fertility. Child marriage, even with consent, is now widely recognized as harmful and restricted or banned in most places for good reason. She was failed by the very people who should have safeguarded her. And when you think about it, you know, this is the thing. We live in 2026 now. When our grandparents, you know, my grandmother got married at age 15. She got married at age 15. My grandfather was 30 years old. 35, 20, what you want to throw? 35. My grandfather was 35. My grandmother was 15 in 1920 or something like that. It was a different time, to say the least. But this should not happen today. This should not happen today at all. I mean, that is, and my grandmother didn't want to marry him either. It's a whole nother story. But my grandmother didn't even want to marry him. But my grandfather was an asshole. But anyways, my friend got married when she was 29 and he is 49. My grandmother stayed with him till death did them part. But she said she never really Loved him. Got married at 15 and had her first kid at 16. 13 years old is so young to be pregnant. Oh my God. I can't imagine. I mean, truly, like, you know, my kids are almost, well, one's out of the house and two more almost out of the house. And I cannot imagine being a teenager and having a child. Hey, Hobo, good to see you, baby. How you doing? Cannot imagine. Cannot imagine. Like, it is life-changing to have a child. Like, it changes everything about your life. You know, before children, you know, and then after you have children when they're little, you think, what did I used to do with all my time? Oh, I traveled. That's what I did. Hobo, thank you. 17 months, girlfriend. How you doing? Miss and love you, Justin. Mods and pearls. Not as much as we miss and love you, Hobo. Good to see you, baby. Good to see you so much. I got married and had my son at 16 and will be 45. And I just, God bless you, girl. God bless you. I just cannot imagine having a kid as a teenager. I wasn't ready at 40. Right, Sammy? It's crazy. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some studies done on that, because it really has to change you, the young mind of having a child and being a child and being a mother or a father at the same time. You know what I mean? Monica, thank you so much for your first month, girlfriend. Appreciate you very, very much, my dear. Appreciate you. Gracie, I'm 40, girlfriend. Halfway to 80. Still feel, my body feels old, but I still feel like I'm about 19, maybe 25. The soul doesn't age, though, I don't think. I met my husband at 16, didn't marry till 21. I had our miracle son when I was 26. He was 22. Yeah. It's amazing. All right.
Prosecutor said, this is isolated to an interfamilial event. The citizens of this community don't have to worry about their kids being part of this, or somebody out there in addition to this that may be doing harm to their kids. But if anybody out there has information about this family and about these kids, if they call the Ohio Attorney General's office, and we'll have that number here available.
I mean, back then you had to have generally, especially if you were farm folk or whatever, you had to have a lot of kids to help out, right? My great grandmother, who lived to be 98 years old, she had 18 children. She had 18 children. And I don't know how the woman ever lived to be 98 years old. I just don't understand. How do you even have a body left after having 18 kids? And I would have told my great grandfather, get off of me. Get off of me, you SOB. But they had a big farm and stuff, and they had to do their thing or whatever. My grandpa had 28 kids. Holy shit on a shingle. Oh my God, my grandpa on the other side. My grandmother had 7 children. You're going to hear fireworks, guys. I apologize. And she raised 9 of us. Me and my cousin. But that's what they had to do back then. It was much different. Now, to keep our in the United States, obviously we're having smaller families for the most part, and to keep our hold on one second, guys. To keep our population, yeah, it's my internet. I don't know what's going on with it. To keep the population inclined, we need about 3.5 children per household, which we don't have that in the United States.
After this press conference, they called the Ohio Attorney General's office to our tip line. We certainly will get that to BCI, and we will want to talk to you as the investigation moves forward. So with that, I certainly appreciate the good work of everybody involved in this case. And Steve, I think at this point, I'm going to just turn it over.
No, it's hot as hell here.
Attorney General Wilson, I'll start real quick because I think it would be helpful for others to know. You said yesterday that his family had been traveling and has been here for I don't know how long.
General,
can you talk about how long they've been in Vinton County, and then can you share any information about where they
General, I'm so sorry I missed that, honey. I apologize. I will not be surprised if the grandfather is the actual. I know. Oh my God. One child is allegedly pregnant. I just can't even fucking imagine. I can't even imagine. It's bad. I gotta know it. Thank you so much, Jerry. I apologize I missed that. Theory followed the dollar's only reason to keep so many. But here's the thing, though. I gotta know it. I don't think that did they even get assistance? I don't even think they got assistance, did they? I mean, that's what most people would think, right? You know, they're spitting out babies but I don't even think they filed taxes. You know, I mean, I've told this story before, but I'm not going to tell it all right now because it's really bad. But there was this one day I picked up a woman. She's a woman that she's kind of feral where I live, and she had a domestic abuse, and when she was really young, and she was all there back then, and she had a DV, and he changed her brain. He literally changed her brain, and it was really, really cold. If you're gonna, it's really, really disgusting what I'm gonna say here. So I'm just gonna tell you. One day I was driving and it was snowing. It was so bad, and this woman, she's rank. She's absolutely rank. But she was literally in a ditch because she walks around town and all that. And I pull over and I'm checking on her. And her head pops up. And I'm like, Missy, are you okay? Because we all know her name. And she's like, oh, I'm fine. I was just taking a break. I'm like, honey, it is so cold outside. You can't be like in these conditions. Like it was in the teens, cold. And she's like, I'm trying to get to the clinic down here. And like, I let her sit in the back of my car. You know, I turned the heat on in the back and I rolled my windows down up front. And I got her to the clinic and all that, and nobody takes care of this woman. They didn't then. We finally got her into a facility. She's been in a facility the last several years now. But she would have messes. She would have messes, like, bad, and I get her out of my car, and she, I guess, was on her monthly, and I'm like, Lord, I just did a good deed, and so I had to take and get my car cleaned after that, and I was just about to die, but I'm glad she's in a facility now. And she's okay. Ugh. So that's kind of my own story with kind of like a feral person. But it's because she was domestically abused because of that. You just don't know what sometimes people go through in their life. Like, she was a cheerleader, had 2 kids, all of that. Sad.
Prior to perhaps help other families in other parts of the country that may see this and wonder, wait, the Siders were living here, and I'm worried about what might have happened in my hometown. How do you live in here? Where do they come from?
Sure. We know that they have ties to Gallia County. There was some talk that they may have been down in Pike County. There was some talk that possibly they're in Jackson County. There's some talk that they were up in Wisconsin for a little bit. And it appears
it really
that
is.
they've been back here in Vinton County for about 4 years.
I was afraid she was dead.
I'm not going to answer that if it's an ongoing investigation.
I'm thankful I had leather seats. That's what I was really praising the Lord for. I was thankful I had leather seats. Lori, 7 months, girlfriend. Thank you so much. Happy 4th, everyone. Happy 4th, girlfriend. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you, my dear.
Can you said the conditions were third world. Like, can you describe some of the conditions?
Whew.
Thank the Lord.
It's almost indescribable. So the sheriff is on the scene as well. I probably ought to have him come up.
You're probably glad.
Boy,
I've seen livestock live.
Yeah.
Mostly kept better.
So you got to come up there.
As I was saying, most of our livestock was kept in better conditions than the children. It was extremely high presence, I'm sure, of bacterial and human feces. It was just a disgusting scene.
Can I ask for both of you, what did you feel like walking through there? Not necessarily what it looked like, what the description, but what was going through your mind?
It actually came up okay, so I was surprised.
It was disgusting, even where the kids weren't. I would think it's typical. Most law enforcement have experience with homes in a similar fashion. A large number of people, though, the children were kept in a roughly 12 by 12 area. It seems like is where they've spent.
You just can't even
sit the last 4 years, and that's what it looks like. In a weird way, you're hit with two emotions. There is joy when we realize that we're about to change 16 lives for the better.
Yeah. And, I hope these kids go on to live amazing, productive lives and really not only change their lives, but change other people's lives around them. What a testimony that would be. I mean, truly. God, that makes me want to cry. Oh, thank you, Summer Breeze. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. Love you too, darling. Thank you so much. You're very sweet to me. Thank you, baby. Justin, there's a company I help would transport people to and from appointments and around town. And let me tell you, I thought if anyone feeling sorry for themselves needs to see what I see. Yeah. Everybody, we're all going through something at all times, right? We all are, and they're all valid. But there are people that are really having a hard time. You know what I mean? Like, and you just gotta count your blessings. You really do. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
But you're also, it's
Oh,
hard.
Were there any signs of sexual abuse towards the children, and did they ever go
That's still
outside?
part of the ongoing investigation.
Yeah,
When
we
did this system become
yeah, so
I mean, all of these children are going to have to be checked, and I mean, these are kids living in very feral conditions. They don't know what is culturally appropriate. You got to remember that, right? We have a culture and rules in our lives that is what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And take, for instance, the young or the older kids. Well, they don't know what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So it would not surprise me if there was a bunch of SA going on in that house. They don't know the rules, right?
answer. That's part of the ongoing investigation. We can't answer that. I will tell you this, you know, there isn't much evidence that kids live there. We talked to some of the neighbors. We talked to some of the people from the neighborhood. These people have been here for about 4 years. And you know, we talked to some people who live in the neighborhood who said, I had no idea that kids were even there. And talking about, somebody asked about, to describe the conditions.
Just like today in Javia's case, the neighbors didn't even know the little girl lived there. In this case, they didn't know. You can live right next to somebody and not know, you know, what's going on in their home or whatever.
Adding on to what the sheriff said, I didn't actually go into the room where the kids were. I just looked through the door. That was yesterday. I can still smell. I can't get the smell. I cannot get the smell off of me or away from me right now. We were just talking about that a little while ago.
This is the state prosecuting attorney. And he didn't even go in, and he says he can't get that smell out. And the thing is like, whenever something is putrefied, it does get in your clothes, it gets in your nose, it gets in your hair. Like when I worked at the funeral home, I couldn't wear hairspray. You couldn't wear makeup. You couldn't wear anything like that because it will stick to you, and you can't do anything like that. Hairspray is a definite no-no.
And then we were talking as a group about some of the evidence we looked at today where they actually discovered the kids and found the kids. And it really, it's not that different than those old commercials you see of like kids in Africa, like just where they're covered in bugs and squatting and had that like distant look in their eyes. It's terrible. I mean, it is absolutely terrible. And again, we got to make sure the kids are safe. We got to make sure they're placed in good, solid therapeutic placements. And we have.
Can you imagine just how traumatic that had to be just for like these officers and stuff? You go to do a search warrant. And there is, in a 12-foot by 12-foot room, there is 16 kids like squatting down, like how you see like on TV or whatever, with a distant look in their eye, like a feralness, like you see an alien.
Have to hold accountable the people who are willing to do this to their own family.
Were the kids enrolled in school?
No.
Are there any warning signs that investigators are now looking at, considering that this was happening in our community for such a long time, it went unnoticed? What is being done about that looking ahead?
Yeah, well, obviously, we'll look at every single case and look at what.
The only thing that will get that sent out is an ionizer. And one of my friends, she does cleanups, like if someone unalives themselves or if they die in a home and nobody knew about it or whatever. And you have to have an ionizer, and it takes like the oxygen out of the room. Essentially, it's like lightning. And that's the only thing that will take that. Or like when you go, the fresh smell whenever ozone machine. Yes, that's what I was looking for. When you like the fresh smell after the lightning storm or whatever, that's ozone. And they're amazing machines. You can buy them on Amazon as well. I'm sure you're right. There was a bunch of, yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing.
Lessons you can learn or how you can do it better, so conditions don't repeat themselves. So we're certainly looking at that. Again, the evidence shows that these folks were pretty good at hiding these kids, and I think you're going to see that part of the reason they were hiding these kids is they knew that these kids were neglected. They knew that if anybody actually knew what.
And to me, that's the crime, right? You see, like if they didn't know, they wouldn't conceal. They wouldn't have concealed the sin, if you will, of what they did to these children. But the fact that they concealed and moved around and tried to deceive people, that's where the problem is, in my opinion.
Was going on, these kids probably would have been removed, and they would have lost the kids. So they were pretty adept at keeping these kids out of sight and out of the eyes, out of investigators' eyes. But we have an obligation. And again, that's one of the things I talked to Kara Winty about yesterday at Department of Children and Youth. We always have an obligation to go back and look at these situations and look at areas where we can make improvements. And having worked with Governor DeWine for a long time, I know
nearly 2
exactly,
decades.
What he does in every single case. So we'll go back and look at the full case, the full investigation. Really, right now, I told the investigative team this morning, even though this all blew up yesterday, we're really just at the beginning of all of this. We're dealing with making sure the kids are safe, making sure that the kids get placed, gathering the evidence, doing the search warrants, taking in the property, doing all of the casework type of stuff we have to do. I'm certain that down the road we'll look broader at those type of issues as well.
When did the system or any mandatory report become aware of this, or was this done directly by law enforcement and it came to the sheriff's department first, or how did you guys learn about it?
Yeah, all I can tell you on that part is there was an investigation, there was a parallel investigation going on for something else that led
Let me just show you
to
this.
that house on the search warrant, and they went into the house on the search warrant and discovered this.
Should all the kids survive? Are they hospitalized?
So as of this morning, some.
So look at this right here. You see this in the corner, right where my hand is, like over here. That is where they live. This is like a little town, like a little village, if you will. It's not like out some, it's semi-rural, but it's not like they're out where there is nobody. Train tracks there as well. How did they afford to feed those kids every day? That's what I want to know. I don't know what kind of income they had. I've been trying to find out.
And released last night. Some were admitted to Columbus hospitals last night. I know that there was one that
I asked AI about their income, and all it said was Elizabeth Siders' attorney told the Associated Press Elizabeth considered herself a full-time mom, and Gary Siders Jr. was driving for DoorDash and looking for another job. That is the clearest public statement as far as income. But DoorDash isn't going to feed 20 people. You're lucky probably if you feed yourself and another person with DoorDash. I guess he maybe made that those kids were not getting fed like, oh, I bet. I mean, one's literally in ICU right now fighting for their life. She wasn't giving them baths or any sort of loving. That's what's really sad. You know what I mean? Just like love, it happens in multiple ways, right? It's not only just, huggy and stuff like that, but love is caring for your children or your loved ones and providing adequate care and nurture, keeping them clean, safe, healthy, all of that. Cobb said several of the children wouldn't have and that's why I think there's been some that's died. I just have a feeling it's coming. Maybe food pantries. It would be quite expensive. We spend over $1,000 a month plus. We buy whole cows and have chickens and buy pigs. Yeah. So, I mean, I have 6 in my family, and it's
was in ICU,
insane.
That was in critical condition, was intubated at one point, and I don't know who all's been released and who hasn't, other than the 7 were stayed overnight.
Would the children being isolated like this, when you rescued them, were they able to talk and communicate?
That's one of the challenges we're facing during the.
Yeah, you get
Yes, sorry. That's one of the challenges we're facing. That's why there's kind of contributes to a lack of information. It's one of the investigative challenges we have to face is that they are limited. They can communicate, but it's extremely limited, and some not at all at the moment.
Are any of these children, are they found on Amber Alerts, missing kids platforms or anything like that?
How were the conditions deemed unsafe for officers?
I'm
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
So as they were doing the search warrant yesterday and moving property, they literally were about to fall through the floor. So, yeah.
Was there any indication that the kids were involved in public life or education prior to leaving Vinton County?
Not at this time, no.
How long was this investigation going on? And were there any complaints that were made to local child welfare authorities?
Well, again, I'm talking about the part of the investigation that got us to the search warrant. And that was an ongoing cooperative investigation that had gone on. Again, something unrelated. It wasn't about the welfare of these 16 kids. At that point, we didn't know that there was going to be 16 kids there. We weren't, again, when they talk to people, people were like, no, I haven't seen any kids. I haven't seen any kids there. So some of that is out there with respect to the parallel investigation. That was going on, I don't know, it was a joint effort between Vinton County and DCI, maybe a month, 6 weeks, but that was not related to the conditions of the house or the welfare.
I'm like 3 hours from where they're at.
Literally, they were coming to the culmination of that other investigation, which led them to do a search warrant at that house.
Are there birth certificates for the children? Are there birth certificates for the children? Anything on record?
Still part of that's still part of this. That's something we're working on.
I mean, that's a question, right? Do these kids have birth certificates? Do they have social security cards? They never went to school. They probably weren't even born in a hospital.
They are the four defendants related to each other. I don't want to make an assumption here.
Yeah, I think you can tell that. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Grandma, grandpa, father, and mother at this point. That's what we know.
So is it fair to say that what led you to find
Really?
these kids was a parallel ongoing investigation at that time?
Yeah, that's a correct statement.
Absolutely.
Can we expect more
Sad, horsey. Little Emmanuel.
Yeah, obviously, it's an ongoing investigation, and there could be more charges as we continue to uncover.
There should be more charges. I'm sorry, but 16 counts of neglect is just not enough. It is just not enough. It's just not enough.
Evidence and property.
Yeah.
Currently, at the regional jail,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are aware of their crimes and, or the allegation of their crimes, and appropriately are treating them as any other inmate accused of those crimes are while in population.
How many of these children have gone to school necessarily for several years and no one
I
checked
agree.
on them? There is no record of them.
Hey, Charlotte.
Yeah, that's I don't know if you were here
Bad.
for this part, but they clearly were bouncing around
Today.
a
We're
little
going to
bit.
go over that
So
next.
That's part of the investigation we're still working on is and that's why I asked.
Hey, baby monkey.
If people out in the community have information about this family,
Yep.
we certainly want that information. And Steve, what's the number?
855 BCI Ohio.
855 BCI Ohio. 855 BCI Ohio.
Yeah, I
And how
got
were
it.
you able to acquire the dates of birth? Were you able to get hospital records, or were some of these children born inside that home?
So there's no evidence that any of the children were born inside that home, although that is something that they were initially investigating once they discovered this. But they were able to obtain that from outside sources.
Okay, and the first victim, it shows that they are 18 years old. Why is that a child endangerment charge?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Good question. The young person's mental capacity, she is, we believe, developmentally disabled. Couldn't even spell her name at 18, and so she is developmentally.
I'm going to
still
show y'all
a minor.
pictures.
Is it possible that that might be due to educational neglect and not developmental delays?
But you don't go to school, you can be educated.
Did these children know how to read and write?
Thank you, baby kisses.
Yeah, again, we're
So I was live the other night when this first broke, and one of you guys told me about this, and I was just like, oh my God. And I'm going to show you some pictures here. Trigger warning. This is the inside, allegedly, of the house. And let me show you this one. Just mold and feces and human excrement. Oh, you're fine, baby. Good to see you. Someone found a tiny grave of two kids that died. There's twins.
We're working through that right now. Some of these children couldn't even speak. Yeah. So, I mean, we're talking, this is very, it was terrible. I mean, it looked like almost feral animals. It was terrible. So when we're talking reading and writing and education, we're talking a whole nother level of expectations here. Like it's hard enough just to get these kids to be able to the 18-year-old can't spell her name.
Attorney General, real quick, it sounds like an almost impossible scenario.
The 18-year-old can't spell her name. 18 years old.
For law enforcement, if you don't know, you don't know, and things are happening inside a home, and I'm sure you all can appreciate that. Is there anything to say to other communities that, neighbors like to be neighborly and not infringe and live and let live and all the things? But this sounds rather awful. Obviously, you would hate to think it's happening anywhere else, but it very well could be. What are some things you can touch on that front? Maybe some recommendations just to keep an eye out and see something really strange?
It's very important. If you see something suspicious or you have a gut feeling, there's no harm in calling us. I think a lot of people have this misconception of, well, they're busy, I don't want to bother them, or whatever reason that they feel in their mind. But when you see something or you think something's odd, there's nothing wrong with calling us so we can start documenting it. Maybe it brings it to the patrol officer's mind just to keep an eye on the house. Maybe he catches something. But yeah, if you there's no reason not to call the sheriff's office if you feel like there's nothing too small. We will look into it.
Sheriff, the Attorney General said they were in a 12 by 12 inch room. Was there a cage in
No,
there?
well, foot, but that was an approximation, by the way.
Was there a cage?
No.
They were only being kept in there by the door, household door.
We're getting a little bit.
That's
Was there any previous involvement with child services?
Yeah, again, that's part of what we're running down right now. We look, like I told you, we're looking at the criminal investigation. We're looking at placement and protection of the kids, and part of the longer term investigation is figuring out who's known what about these kids.
So I'm learning that they allegedly, some of them got Social Security or SSI, and they were at food banks a lot and getting diapers from other places that give away free items as well. But Gary Jr. was doing DoorDash.
Did Elizabeth Sider birth any or all of these children? And is she a victim herself?
That is all still part of the ongoing investigation. At this time, we can't continue on that.
If I may, just one last question, the property owner, I think that's an important issue. Who owned this?
The warrant was not for the kids. They went there because Junior, Siders Jr., the younger male, he had exposed himself, indecent exposure, and he had a warrant. He had 4 counts, and they went there to arrest him, and they opened the door, and there's 20 people in this 12-foot by 12-foot room.
Property, who is responsible for the property? It looked like the owner passed away last April.
It was owned by a trust.
Yes, this house, the person who owned this property, they didn't own the property. This was in a trust, and they were just living there.
So at this point, we're continuing to look at that, but the deeded owner is actually the deceased woman's trust.
We know what the next steps are.
Thank you. That's it. That's all we can do. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
Andy, real quick, congratulations on the. Thank you very much. See you again. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to go. I mean, it's just I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you. Like, it's so bad. All right. I want to show you this. They had court today. Oh, let me show you this before we go to that. So this, Elizabeth's relatives claim she was isolated for 20 years after marrying Gary Siders Jr. at age 13. They allege she was controlled by the Siders family, rarely allowed to contact her family, and forced to have children. One relative called Christina Lynn the ringleader. And that's family interviews. Lori Russell is with Elizabeth McQuaid and 2 others. Happy birthday to my daughter, Elizabeth. It is hard to believe my youngest is 28 today. Love you, Mom and Dad. Gary Lee Siders, that was August 14, 2020. Gary Lee Siders Jr., June 5th, 2014. This is Elizabeth. I don't want anyone putting pictures of me on Facebook. Everyone, if you have any pictures of me on here, please take them off here. I mean, really changed. I can't believe he was a DoorDasher. Oh, yeah. Yep. Never look at Dee Dee again, right? The same. All right, so they were in court today.
Am I correct in
Watching, he's waving, the old man, or they both are.
Am I correct in seeing that both of you are named Gary Siders? And you are Mr. Siders the second? You're junior and you're senior? Sir, you're Mr. Siders senior? Can you hear me okay? I need you to answer out loud because we're making a record.
Yes.
Sir, I need you to answer out loud as well. All right. The purpose of today's hearing.
I mean, I don't mean to be mean, but the old man kind of looks a little, allegedly. 1 second, guys. Apologize for that, guys. I had to answer that one. He looks like a very seasoned drinker. He looks a little close to the family. His family tree looks like a wreath. Now, I'll say it like that. His family tree looks like a wreath, in my opinion. They pay rent to the trustee of the trust that live there. I don't know if they do. They don't. I don't think they still do they? Who sent the gift? Wait, thank you for the gift, babies. Appreciate you very, very much. Really do appreciate you.
It's to advise you of the charges against you, to advise you of your rights, and to set a bond. Do you understand?
No, they don't own the property. The trustee died, or the property manager died.
Have you been served with copies of the complaints against you? Did you read them? Okay. Do you need me to read it to you again?
I believe it was 17 counts.
I think that they've amended that and it's 16 now. Yes. And I should probably state for the record, now that I knew who they were bringing me, these are case numbers 26 CR 50 and 53. All right. Let's go over those together, all right? As a preliminary matter, are you okay with doing this by Zoom today?
Sorry.
Are you okay with doing this through the computer today? All right. So, actually there are 17. I apologize, there are 17 counts on one of these. Each of these counts is a second-degree felony count of.
What do I mean by, Justin, what do you mean by their family tree is a wreath? Well, that's why I was trying to say that. I wasn't trying to say like something mean. Their family tree looks like a tree trunk. How about that? Is one big tree trunk, right? If more inbred, then they would be a sandwich. You got me.
Endangering children, which is a violation of Ohio Revised Code 2919-22B1 and E2D.
Nerdy, thank you for
Each
your
one of
gift,
them
baby.
alleges that on or about June 30th, 2026, that you did abuse a child under the age of 18 years old, and the violation resulted in serious physical harm to that child. Each count contains different initials indicating, and birth dates indicating which child to whom it refers. Count 1 is CS, date of birth 5/30/2008. Count 2 is ZS, date of birth 8/17/2009. Count 3 is CS, date of birth 3/13/2011. Count 4 is KS, date of birth 3/28/2012. Count 5 is BS, date of birth 5/8/2013. Count 6 is GS3, date of birth 9/2/2014. Count 7 is LS, date of birth 5/25/2016. Count 8 is VS, date of birth 10/20.
Yeah, like instead of your family tree having branches, it has roundabouts. As the British say, roundabouts. Thank you so much. Lakeside, 22 months. How you doing, girl? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Your support, Lakey. Go, Lakey. Go, Lakey. Go, Lakey. Hey, Justin. You're awesome. Love you, darling. Appreciate you, Lakey. Love you to pieces. Thank you so much. Alicia, thank you so much for renewing your membership, girl. How you doing? Good to see you. And coming in clutch at 14 months. How you doing, girl? Appreciate you very, very much. You are a rock star. There has to be birth records if they have birth dates. I don't know. I don't think so, Scouts. They just might know the birth date. You know what I mean? Just mark it on the old calendar. It's really sad, these kids, what they are, you know, because we, like, as children, you know, you learn as you go. You learn your speech and your grammar and all of that. These kids can't even speak. What was it that they said the 18-year-old couldn't even do? She couldn't even spell her name. It's beyond comprehension, and it's really, really sad. Really sad. Pay attention to the birth date.
6/2017. Count 9 is JS, date of birth 10/27/2019. Count 10 is ES, date of birth 9/29/2020. Count 11 is NS, date of birth 2/10/22. Count 12, SS, date of birth 2/10/22. Count 13 alleges harm to John Doe, date of birth 1/21/25. That's John Doe A. There's John Doe B, date of birth 1/21/25.
4 to 3.
Count 15
None.
is simply identified by first name Isaac,
One info, baby kisses.
no date of birth at this time. Count 16 Isaiah, no date of birth at this time. Count 17 Wade, no date of birth at this time. Those are for you.
Lakeside, this is Camden, Ohio. Camden, Ohio. I forget what county it's in. Hamden County. Hamden County. It's on the border of
Mr. Siders Jr., Mr. Siders Sr., those are all the same.
Is it Vinton or Hamden? Zevia says Vinton. Unlike Summer's parents don't know her birth date. Yeah. You know, this is the thing with Summer, with Candace. She had Summer's birthday tattooed on her leg, and she didn't know her daughter's birthday. I know, Lakeside. And it's not that I don't support homeschool, because I think homeschooling can be beneficial to some children, but there needs to be a lot more guidelines and checking up on these kids, because so many of these kids, it's a neglector's paradise when a lot of these kids are homeschooled. A lot of kids thrive with homeschool, but some of them, it's just because they're fucking lazy and they're neglecting their kids. But some people do it just because they don't want the responsibility of getting up daily. Nobody, I don't want to get up daily like that. Nobody does. You know what I mean? I'm a parent of 3. Mine are almost all grown now. Nobody does. But guess what? Don't have fucking kids. You know what I mean? Homeschooling in Quebec is highly controlled, and each family has it. Yeah, and that's what we need here. That's what we need here. I mean, I don't get up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed every morning. But guess what? You do it for your kids. You do it because you want them to have an education. You want them to be good people. You want to have the structure. You know, the way I've always told my kids is, this is your job. Your job for the next 18 years, and then after the 18 years, college. But this is your job. Your job is to go to school 5 days a week. Your job is to do your homework, right? Your job is to make good grades. That's what your job is to do. My job is to get you there, right? Get you to school, wake you up. But they're old enough now, they do it themselves. So I'm up 3 hours before I clock in order to make sure my kids, I get up 2 hours prior. I don't get up 3 hours earlier, but 2 hours earlier. So.
Yes, I suspected so, but I wanted to ensure. All right. Each of those felonies of the second degree is punishable by 2 to 8 years as a minimum sentence and a maximum sentence of 12 years in prison. A maximum fine of $15,000 and 18 months to 3 years of post-release control. Do you understand all that? You have the following rights. You have the right to retain counsel even if you intend to plead guilty. You have the right to a reasonable continuance in the.
I'm not a morning person. I've never been a morning person, even though I have to get up at 5 o'clock every morning. You guys know I've told you this before. I have what they call an atomic alarm, and it is extremely loud. It would wake the dead. And it has this cord that comes out, and there's this disc looking thing, and it's got looks like a hockey puck, and it's got this thing that vibrates your mattress. It's called a mattress shaker. And for those of you that don't like alarm clocks and don't like to get up in the morning, or you'll just turn the alarm clock off, that's the best alarm clock. You're welcome.
Proceedings to secure counsel. You have the right to have counsel assigned without cost to you if you are unable to afford counsel. You have the right to bail if the offense is bailable. We will come back to bail momentarily. You are not required to make a statement at any point in these proceedings, but anything you say can and may be used against you. You have the right to a speedy public jury trial. Do you understand? Also, because these cases have come before this court on a complaint rather than an indictment at this time, you would have the right to a preliminary hearing, and you can discuss that with counsel once counsel is appointed for you. Do you understand? All right. The jail has applications for.
Does the old man know what's even going on? Like, I don't know if he even knows what the hell's going on. Hey, Sarah, I was thinking about you earlier. I really was. I was going to message you. I don't think they're inbred. I think they're his wife. Wasn't inbred. She was just married and, pregnant at 13. It's crazy. They look like they belong in a state hospital, not out fathering 18 kids. He does. He just looks like he's just going with the motions. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up?
Court-appointed counsel there. You can fill those out and we'll submit them back to the court. You have 4 pleas available to you. A plea of guilty is a complete admission of your guilt. A not guilty plea is a complete denial of your guilt.
But you got to remember, the old man, I just thought of this. The old man and his wife, they are the brains of this operation. They're the brains. They say especially his wife. And they're the ones that agreed for him to marry, and they signed off on that and all that. So I don't know.
A no contest plea is not an admission of guilt, but is an admission to the facts that underlie the complaint. If you plead no contest, the state would give me a statement of facts, and it would be up to the court to determine whether or not you were guilty of the charged offenses based on those facts.
Thank you
If
for
the facts
10
were not
months.
sufficient, I would find you not guilty.
Appreciate you.
A plea of no contest cannot be used
Love your
against you in
glasses.
any subsequent civil or criminal case, but you would have a criminal record if you were found guilty pursuant to a plea of no contest.
Sarah sees everything through rosy glasses. Don't you, Sarah? Thank you for 10 months, baby. Appreciate you.
A not guilty by reason of insanity plea must be made in writing. Do you understand those pleas? How do you plead?
May I speak to a law member?
Yes, I will enter a not guilty plea for you at this time then, and you can confer with counsel. Okay? Mr. Siders, would you like me to enter a not guilty plea for you as well?
Yeah.
Until you have the chance to speak with an attorney?
Thank you for that, Lisa. Let me see here.
I will do that. All right. I need to grab this one. State's position as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You think if they were born Sorry, guys, my internet. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it tonight. You just made me spit out my drink. Does the old man know what's going on? I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's my internet. I don't know what's going on. How old is the grandfather? Hold on, I got his age here. I think he's in his 60s. His dad lived to be like 90 something. Talk about a good immune system. I'll look at it. I asked AI if they were born in a hospital. They said right now we do not have confirmed public answer that all 16 children were born in a hospital. What officials have said is more careful. Vinton County Sheriff Ryan Kane said there is, quote, no evidence that anyone was born inside the home, end quote. The Ohio Attorney General office also said investigators believe the family largely avoided establishing medical and other government records while living across multiple Ohio counties since 2008. That is why the birth record question is such a big deal. Yeah, let me see here. I'll tell you their ages in just 1 second here. Guys, hit that thumbs up.
$300,000 cash assured bond for each defendant under the court standard terms and conditions, including special conditions that they have no contact with each other as co-defendants, and they have no contact with the victims, and if they are able somehow to post bond, that GPS monitoring of their defendants.
Okay. So Gary Siders Sr., the old man here, he's 73. His wife, Christina Siders, she's 67. And Gary Siders Jr., he's 36. And his wife, Elizabeth, is now 33. But don't forget, she got married at, 13? He looks older than that. He is also in a wheelchair. Was he in a wheelchair like at home though? Oh yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, Elizabeth is a victim in her own right? I mean, take aside that she didn't take care of her kids and all that, but she was essentially groomed as a 13-year-old and married and pregnant. Well, I'll tell you, Kiki, she married at 15, gave birth at 13. Okay, that's what it was. In West Virginia, several years ago, you could get married if the minister agreed upon it, and if both sides of the family, I think, signed the agreement. So I absolutely believe Elizabeth is a victim in her own right. Again, to me, it doesn't take away all of the charges with the kids and stuff, but she was essentially groomed into this family, and that grooming, this is the thing. We are most like the 5 or 10 people we are around, right? You become what your environment is. Most people do. And that was her environment as truly a child herself, while she's also a mother. So I have a lot of compassion for him in that, right? You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Miss Sarah. Appreciate your baby gift, a pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, love. We received that. And we give our Jane a big old thank you. And thank you, Nana's Dragonfly. How you doing, girl? Love you to pieces. Good to see you. How you doing, Nana? If you received that, make sure you give Nana a big old thank you. Love you, Nan. We need to talk soon. We need to talk soon. I bet they'll find a few of the girls' children had given birth and not. Yeah. That's sad. It's really sad, man.
Gentlemen, do you
I mean, you got to realize, like, the younger children will do much better transitioning than these older children will. The 18-month will have the best transition out of all of them because they won't really remember what they lived in, right? So this 18-month-old, the younger children will have a much easier transition. Children that are, 8, 10, 12, 14, 6, like those children are going to have a much harder time. But the younger you are, the easier it is going to be for the transition for them.
have anything to say as to bond?
No, I didn't want to hear it.
Paul's yawning.
They ask for a $300,000 cash or surety bond, and that if you are in no contact with your co-defendants or with the alleged victims, and that if you are released on bonds, that you be required to wear a GPS monitor. Do you have anything to say as to any of that?
Baby, I don't think lice would grow
All
on
right,
that
I will
head.
grant the state's request then. It will be a $300,000 cash or surety bond. In the event, well, first of all, no contact with your co-defendants. Don't be speaking with each other there at the jail. If you are released, no contact with the alleged victims. Don't try to contact.
This boils down to nothing more, in my opinion, than laziness. This is what it boils down to. You're just fucking lazy. You're not taking care of your kids. You're not letting them in school. You're just pumping babies out. For what? Like, these people are just neglectful, lazy. Like, what else could it be? What else could it be? When the neighbors, I mean, it can be, I guess it can be mental illness as well, but all of them?
Them from jail either. And you will be required to wear a GPS monitor at the state's expense. You would also be required to be a law-abiding citizen, keep the court informed of any address or telephone number changes,
She is.
appear at
yeah.
all hearings, and
Yeah,
have
but yeah.
DNA and fingerprinting done if you've not done so already. Do you understand? All right. Anything else from the state?
No, thank you.
All right. Gentlemen, we'll get you attorneys appointed as soon as possible. Thank you. On the record in the Vinton County Court of Common Pleas. These are case numbers 26 CR 5.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is the mother and the two women. Justin, when you pointed to their house at that picture, did you see where they were pointing? These pictures? What do you mean where they were pointing? It's just amazing, 20 people. I mean, they had to sleep like, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean here, but like animals. And when they had a vehicle, they were able to afford that. It should be no bond. I agree. From what I hear, the old lady here, she's like the mastermind, is what people allegedly say. Cognitive disability and mental illness is my guess. No, see, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And I'll tell you why. And the reason I don't agree with that in this case is because they hid it. They were hiding it. They were actively hiding their children, hiding what they did, right? And that's what makes it, to me, in my opinion, that they knew this was wrong, what they were doing. And see, when they know something's wrong, it's a shame. You're hiding the sin. You're hiding what you know is wrong. If you didn't know it was wrong, that's a whole different story, right? So if it's a mental illness, you don't generally know that it's wrong. You know what I mean? Now, it doesn't mean there's not mental illness or cognitive disability mixed in there. I think it can be a whole lot of different things mixed in. You know what I mean? But they knew this was wrong.
5-1 and 26 CR 5-2. Case 5-1 is the state of Ohio versus Christina Siders. And case 5-2 is the state of Ohio versus Elizabeth Siders. Is that the two of you? And Nan, you on the left, you're Christina? And you're Elizabeth. Is that correct? All right. The purpose of today's hearing is to advise you of your rights and the charges against you, and to set a bond.
That's right. They moved around because they knew they hid them, because they knew they allowed a 12-year-old to be impregnated and then married. They knew. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you with the, for instance, what's the family that lives close to me that I was talking about earlier? They're inbred. They're actually inbred. I can't think of their names. Someone will help me out in chat. Just hoarding children. Yeah. That's true. If you feel you need to hide something deep down, you know it's wrong. Yeah. The Whitakers, they didn't hide, right? They're good people. The Whitakers, they're good people. They're truly inbred, and they didn't hide from the world or anything like that. Now, the Turban family, they knew the difference, right? And to me, that is the key right there, right? The Whitakers, they were friendly to people. They went out to Walmart, all of them, and, all of that stuff. That's the difference. It's not their fault, the Whitakers, in how cognitively but for the Siders and the Turban family, completely different, if you get what I mean.
All right. Have you received copies of the complaints against you? I believe that they filed an amended complaint this morning, which may differ slightly from what you received. They have gathered some additional information regarding dates of birth and initials for the children. So that would be the only difference. And also have revised the complaint from 17 counts to 16. Okay. Did you have the opportunity to read that complaint?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Turpin.
Okay, I'm gonna go over it
Turpin.
with you because these are serious allegations, and I think it's important that you understand what we are talking about, all right? These complaints are identical. They each contain 16 counts
Oh, what about it?
of
pull it up. 1
endangering
second.
children, which is a violation of Revised Code 2919-22B1 and 2919-22E2D. All of those counts are felonies in the second degree. All of those accounts allege that you did any.
Okay, you're talking about this photo? You're talking about this photo? This is where they lived, right? See where I'm pointing? Like, I think I'm pointing the right direction. Right there. Where like in the corner, across the railroad tracks there. So many FLDS children and young brides went through horrific breeding type trauma like this as well. Yes, they did. And I think still do. I mean, it's not, it's they got neighbors. The Turpin's case is horrible after being removed from the parents who chained them up. Foster parents were essaying them. I know. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Hamden.
The Turbans, they were not only neglectful, they were mean. It's bottom right corner, yeah.
On or about June 30th, 2026, unlawfully abuse a child under the age of 18, and that violation resulted in serious physical harm to that child, okay? Each count is different, and then it identifies a different child by initial and birthday. And so we will go through those quickly and then talk about the rest of what we need to address today, all right?
Yep.
Count 1 refers
The
to
Turpin,
CS,
yeah.
date of birth 5/30/2008. Count 2 refers to ZS, date of birth 8/17/2009. Count 3 refers to CS, date of birth 3/13/2011. Count 4 refers to KS, date of birth 3/28/2012. Count 5 refers to BS, date of birth 5/8/2013. Count 6 refers to GS3, date of birth 9/2/2014. Count 7 refers to LS, date of birth 5/25/2016. Count 8, VS, date of birth.
I mean, a couple more days and they would have had unaliving charges on them because the one child is in the ICU right now. I think there should be more charges. I mean, you can get up to 12 max, you can get up to a maximum of 12 years per charge, but they're probably going to be in prison the rest of their life.
10/26/17.
And I think that is what they need, in my opinion, for the simple fact that these kids are going to grow up and they don't ever need to worry about these people again. One big trunk, no branches. That's right. She said abuse the time, not neglect.
Count 9, JS.
But abuse and neglect kind of go hand in hand.
Date of birth 10/27/2019. Count 10, ES, date of birth 9/29/2020.
Some of the twins.
Count 11, NS, date of birth 2/10/22. Count 12, SS, date of birth 2/10/22.
I think it should be attempted.
Count 13, IS, date of birth.
I think at the very least, the children that are in the hospital, they need attempted. These adults need attempted MURDER charges on them.
1/21/25. Count 14, IS, date of birth 1/21/25. I assume that those are two separate children that are perhaps twins. Count 15, BS, date of birth 1/4/24. Count 16, WS 1/4/24. Felonies of the second degree.
Well, like the question is like, every kid gets sick. Every kid gets sick. Every person gets sick. Like if, living in closed, cramped environments like that with feces, urine, bugs, putrefacients, all of that. When, they had to have upper respiratory issues to begin with. It makes me like when they got upper respiratories, or probably kept an upper respiratory, but they got really sick with the fever and stuff. The kids just suffered. They didn't take them to the doctor, whatever. Did their body just eventually take care of them being sick? Did any of them die? Like, my kids sneezed twice and I was at the doctor.
Are punishable by a minimum sentence of 2 to 8 years in prison, a maximum sentence of 12 years, and a $15,000 maximum possible fine. They also carry the possibility of 18 months to 3 years of post-release control. Do you understand the charges against you? I need you to answer out loud because we're keeping the record. All right. Doesn't mean you agree with them. I just need to know that you understand what they are. You have the following rights. You have the right to retain counsel even if you intend to plead guilty. You have the right to a reasonable continuance in these proceedings to secure counsel. You have the right to have counsel assigned without cost to you if you are unable to afford counsel. You have the right to bail if the offense is bailable, and we will discuss bail momentarily. You are not required to make a statement at any point in these proceedings that anything you say can and may be used against you. You have the right to a speedy public jury trial. Do you understand those rights? All right. The jail has applications for court-appointed counsel. If you wish to fill them out, they will send them back to the court.
Want to show you.
You have
this
4
right here.
pleas available to you. A guilty plea is a complete admission of your guilt. A not guilty plea is a complete denial of your guilt. A no contest plea is not an admission of guilt, but it is an admission to the facts that underlie the indictment. If you plead no contest, the state would give me a statement of facts, and it would be up.
So this right here is Elizabeth Ann Siders' brother, Joey D. Russell of Gallipolis, Ohio, which is really close to where Elizabeth and them lived. In 2018, Russell was convicted of child endangerment resulting in serious physical harm to a child, a third-degree felony. He was sentenced to a maximum penalty of the offense, 36 months in prison. Cases like this serve as a reminder that protecting children must always come first. Accountability matters, and so does remembering the victim behind these cases. Now, in a separate case, Elizabeth is charged with 16 counts of endangering a child or children, each a second-degree felony under Ohio law. Prosecutors initially filed 17 counts, but later clarified the case would proceed with 16 counts, 1 for each child found in the home. The charges allege the children suffered serious physical harm. And it just shows you the cycle, the absolute cycle that a lot of people come from. Why is her eyes so red? Well, she probably has constant conjunctivitis. I'm not a doctor, but with the feces that is in that home, and just the uncleanliness and all of that. I mean, look at her. Her hair is bacon grease at this point. Yeah, dinosaurs, it's bad. It's bad.
Up to the court to determine whether or not you were guilty based on those facts. If the facts were not sufficient, I would find you not guilty. A plea of no contest cannot be used against you in any subsequent civil or criminal proceeding, but you would have a criminal record if you were convicted under a no contest plea. A plea of not guilty by reason of insanity must be made in writing. Do you understand these pleas? And how do you plead?
So I don't know if you know this, but if you go to a pool, you know, when you get out of a pool, especially like a public pool, and your eyes are red, here's a little known fact. The reason your eyes are red is because of not only the chlorine, but it's the pool mixing with fecal matter and sweat and dirt and urine. Just the more you know. That is why when you get out of a public pool, your eyes are red, because of from the chlorine, the fecal matter, the urine, the sweat, the dirt, all of that. Because there is all of that in a public pool.
Well, stop. First of all, I want to remind you of your right to remain silent.
Look it up.
This is not the time for you to argue
Look it
your
up.
case. These are serious allegations, and if you are unsure on what to do, I will enter a not guilty plea for you until you can consult with counsel. Okay? I also need to advise you that because these cases came before this court on a complaint, as opposed to through an indictment by the grand jury, you have the right to a preliminary hearing. And that's a matter you can discuss with counsel once they're appointed as well. All right?
Look, all of their eyes are red. All of their eyes are red. It was a cesspool. It was a cesspool. I mean, look at the mattress, the one mattress. That's mold from urine, sweat. I mean, because you sweat. I forget how much you sweat every night when you go to bed, but you sweat a significant amount when you're in your bed. I recommend everyone getting a waterproof mattress cover and washing that sucker often. That's what I do.
All right. So I will enter not guilty pleas for both of you at this time until you have the opportunity to discuss this case with counsel. State's position as to bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, wow.
The court is the state's recommendation that a $300,000 cash surety bond be imposed on each.
You wake up soaked. I usually sleep with my thermostat set on morgue. That's how cold it is. Morgue. That's the temperature I keep in my bedroom. It looks like The Exorcism when you come in my bedroom. You can see your breath. That's how cold it is.
Offenses including special conditions that they have no contact with the co-defendants, with each other, and with the victims, and that if they were able to post bond, that they would be subject to GPS bond.
Could you hear the prosecutor? The state is asking for a $300,000 cash or surety bond.
Okay, so the under normal conditions, your body produces about 25 milliliters of sweat per hour of sleep. For an average adult, 8 hours night, the total is roughly around 200 milliliters, or about 6.7 ounces, or 0.8 cups. In warmer environments, the volume can easily be doubled, right? So you can sweat pretty much a 16-ounce bottle of sweat easily. That's why, you wake up a lot of times dehydrated.
And that if you were able to post bond, that you have no
You're evaporating
contacts.
constantly.
Well, sorry, let me back up. Even if you're not able to post bond, they're asking that you have no contact with your co-defendants. That means each other.
Oh, we couldn't sleep together.
Presume the jail will keep you from having contact with the other two co-defendants if you remain in jail. No contact with the alleged victims of the offense, and if you are released, that you be fitted with a GPS monitor at state's expense. We also have general conditions of bond if you are released, which include that you be a law-abiding citizen, that you keep the court informed of any address or telephone number changes, that you appear at all court hearings, and that you get DNA and fingerprinting done if you have not already done so. Do you have anything to say as to bond? You can discuss with your attorney. They could file a motion to modify bond, and the court will consider that at that time. Okay? All right, is there anything else from anyone?
No.
All right, we'll get someone appointed as soon as possible.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Am I correct in seeing that both of you are named Gary?
So there we have that craziness, huh? So they're still in jail. Yeah, they're probably not going to be getting out anytime soon. Coming from True Crime Mama, Siders family update. She said, after doing some digging by her team and some information shared by followers, we have learned that Gary Sr. and Lynn Christina were renting this home from a relative of the lady MT, whose name is on the trust. MT passed away in April of 2025 at age 91 years old. At least one home very near the house of horrors is occupied by the family member of MT. According to another relative of MT, the Siders were dropping their rent in a drop box. Clearly, none of the relatives of MT knew any of the children were in the home. She says, I am certain they are shaken to the core. I want everyone to be careful with identities because one of the information is publicly accessible. I'm not going to be going through the names of the people who haven't been charged. Some of y'all get a little crazy. I also want to protect folks. Yeah. And she showed the note there. I think we need to be careful as creators in protecting these 16 children. That's what I really hope the creators do, because they are absolute victims in this. And they need to be protected. Okay, let me show you this right here. When it comes to the twins, I've got the birth dates of the children as well, but check this out. Okay, Bailey Lee and Faith Lee Siders, November 20th, 2022, November 20th, 2022. And it says Garrett Funeral Home. So I'm assuming they had them buried. Assuming that. Bear with me, guys, a second. I got to pull something up here. Okay. These were the set of Sider twins who passed at birth on November 20th, 2022. I am still working, True Crime Mama says, on details on this, but we know from law enforcement that Elizabeth had a set of twins on February 10th, 2022. Their initials were SS and NS. We know that Bailey and Faith were born and died on November 20th, 2022. But that's exactly 9 months. Now it is likely they were preterm, but still, this is madness. Okay, what? Okay, let's think of that a second here. Let's think of this a second. Okay. So, there's a set of Sider twins who passed at birth right here, November 20th, 2022. Elizabeth had the set of twins February 10th, 2022. Their initials were SS and NS. We know that, okay, holy shit. So they had a set of twins November 20th, 2022. That died. Hold on. February, March, April, May, June, July. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. No, that's exactly 9 months. So she had a set of twins that died. Hey, Alabama, good to see you, babe. They had a set of twins that died. And then exactly, almost to the fucking day, 9 months later, they had another set of twins. I guess these set of twins was premature, stillborn, don't know. Did she get prenatal care? What are you talking about, girl? Doubt it. Doubt it. Yes. She had a set of twins, Bailey and Faith. These were the children that were born dead. And then 9 months later, she exactly had another set of twins that survived. How they have a funeral for November. How they have a funeral for the November girls. This says a funeral home. I'm sorry, the music while you are mathing makes me laugh. Not a funny reason, but I just thought it was funny. Some things just tickle you. I understand. GG. I get it. I get it. Sometimes we've all been in a situation where something will just strike us funny. You know what I mean? And you're really not supposed to be laughing and you're holding it in. But when you try to hold it in, it makes it that much worse. Totally been there, girl. Totally get it. Gotcha. Yeah, I get it. I don't understand why no government agencies checked on the family, because people didn't even, the people that they were renting off of, they didn't even know they had 16 kids. Also, she had 2 sets of triplets. I mean, the fertile myrtles here usually happens in funerals. Joe, keep the politics out. Guys, squirt members, squirt Joe with your, we have a squirt bottle for Joe in here. It's strictly for Joe. Set of twins, February 22, and then set of November 2022. Yes. Yes. She had 2 pregnancies in 2022. 2 pregnancies in 1 year. No way. It's just crazy. It's really bad to get the laughs in church. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. First set of twins are now 4, 2/10/2022. I cry at weddings, don't go to funerals. Were all the kids born in hospitals? No clue at this point. Ginger's on her phone. She loves you all. She can't tag. So we've got some birth dates. 5/30/2008. There was an 18-year-old child. 8/17/2009, 16 years old. 3/13/2011, 15 years old. 3/28/2012, 14 years old. 5/8/2013. These are the initials of the children. BS, 13 years old. 9/2/14, GS the third, 11 years old. 5/25/16, LS 10. 10/26/2017, VS 8. 10/27/2019, JS 6. 9/29/2020, ES 5. 2010 2/10/2020 rather, NS 4 years old. 2/10/2022, SS 4 years old. 11/20/2022, Bailey cemetery record. 11/20/22. These are the twins that I was just talking about. 1/21/2025, John Doe A. 1/21/2025, John Doe B. So she's had 2 sets of twins that are dead. And then unknown, unknown, and unknown. True crime mama. That's crazy. What's sad is that they will have to separate because there are so many kids. I mean, yeah, can you think of the risk? This is a small county, not a lot of money or anything, and they had this is really hard on this county because they've got to find group homes, but just to take in these kids, I did foster care for 7 years. To take in these kids you've got to be a special person. You're going to have to be a special person because you are going to be living at doctor's appointments for a long time. Living at doctor's appointments, therapies, all kinds of stuff. Did they have 1 or 2 vehicles? I don't know. The Junior, the younger guy right here, he did DoorDash, so he had to have a car. But they are not John Doe. Is our 18 months old one, but they are not John Doe. IS or is are the 18-month-olds. I don't know what the unknown means. I don't know. That's so true. The foster placement and parents in homes had better be inspected with a fine tooth trauma-informed comb. Yeah, it's going to be real bad. Real bad. They know how to fill out the government paperwork for assistance. But that's the thing. I don't think they got really any government assistance. They went to a lot of pantries and stuff like that, I hear. No, I think they stayed away from the government assistance as much as possible from what I understand as of now. I think they maybe got SSI or Social Security or something like that. Most of the kids will have lifelong disabilities. These people should stay in jail forever. How to break the cycle. Yeah. I think they should stay in prison forever just because the simple fact these kids, so they don't ever have to worry about them again. Doesn't look like the kids ever went out of the house. They never went out of the house. Never went out of the house. Can you imagine staying inside of a house with 17 others in a 12 by 12 room? I mean, I get cabin fever like when it snows for days on end here and you just like can't go anywhere or anything. Like I get cabin fever with that. Like I gotta get out. Just craziness. Okay. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, sharing the live out, all of that good stuff. This is from the Baum Law Office. This is from yesterday. The state versus the Siders case, to whom it may concern. While this has quite obviously received intense media attention and the occupying speculation across the internet that comes with any story of the nature, the reality is that we are just at the beginning stages of this case. There has not even been an indictment filed against Mr. Siders yet, merely a complaint. And then a day later, an amended complaint containing one fewer count than the complainant the previous day, which speaks to the extremely preliminary stage we're at. It has not escaped our notice that the state apparatus from multiple state and local political figures to the interim state attorney general to the very prosecutor who's going to be presiding this case have taken every opportunity to attempt to pre-try this case in the court of public opinion. However, it is also important to remember that Mr. Siders is entitled to the same presumption of innocence that every person charged in the case or in the country should and does enjoy. So while there is little ability to stop all speculation, conjecture, and uncorroborated guessing work from taking place, I would ask that we all let the process play out, irrespective of the sensationalist underpinning from the allegations against Mr. Siders, so that we have his defense counsel can be provided with whatever evidence the state allegedly has in order to give it thorough review and determine if the state can meet their burden of proof, or alternatively, if Mr. Siders is actually not guilty of what is being alleged. And that is from the Baum Law Office, LLC. So he is obviously advocating for his client, which he absolutely should. They, all four of them, are innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. And this is what his attorney should be doing. He should be fighting for his client or clients. But you can say that the the prosecuting attorney, I mean, he did kind of speak a little on his opinion, but he also said he wants to show that all four of them have not been convicted of a crime, but people are naturally going to place judgment when there is 20 people living in a 12-foot by 12-foot room, and there is photos like this on the internet. Again, a public judgment is not the same as a judgment in the court of law, right? Anybody's opinion will not place you in prison. It doesn't. It's different. They don't require the same burden of proof. People are allowed to have opinions. Here is some photos of them at, I guess, different times. My beautiful mama and daddy, Linda Siders, is what she says there. I think the mom was traumatized at 12 years old. Maybe. Did they sleep on that? Yeah. It's a piss-stained mattress. And my beautiful mom and daddy here. This is April 24th. Not sure about what year. I don't know why that's circled. Does anyone know why that's circled? Here is the home. I guess it's them sitting outside. At some point, let me show you this. I got some other photos. Let me pop them up for you. Hold on, I got to screenshot them. Give me a second, guys. So I can put them in my file here. It's in Vinton County, Ohio. I think it's close to Gallipolis. I think this is the area of the Mothman, where the Mothman comes from, isn't it? I'm about 2.5 hours from there. I may go see if I can get some interviews, maybe. Not that far. So downtown is MacArthur, Ohio. It's a seat of Vinton County, a population of 1,783, and that is in the 2020 census. Very small little town, right? Very small little town. Oh, wait. I'm trying to show you guys this. Just bear with me. I've got to upload these real quick. But they had moved into these just so many different towns in this state of Ohio that they really didn't have anywhere else to go at this point. It's kind of weird. And that's how, in my opinion, you know that something that they knew what they were doing was wrong. And that's the reason I kind of have the judgment that I have with them. Okay. Oh, I want to show you just a winner. Just the absolute, I mean, just a fox. Almost done, guys, I promise. Just gotta show you these. Just gotta enlarge them a little bit. But we got drone footage of like the back of their house and all of that here. So I'll show you the town and all that. I don't even think there's like a gas station in the town. The population is 1,700. It's not like a lot of people here. Okay, here we go. And showed you this photo earlier. This is their home right here with home there. And this is the just the absolute mark there. What's his name? Gary Siders Jr. Who was the young gal in that photo? I think that's their kid as well. I mean, nothing like someone giving the middle finger with a faux honk. I'm having a hard time hearing because my microphone was fucked up. It switched over again. Sorry. You should be able to hear me better now. Sound is more. Okay. So there's the absolute heartthrob bub. And this is their home. I don't know what room like they made them stay in. They said it's 12 by 12. Attorney is said to be, to my understanding at the time, it was still being investigated. Yeah, there was. My mic was low for a minute. But it should be fine now. It should be fine. Okay. And so it appears there's a truck and a car. So to me, it's like, I mean, if they were both on the road. Thank you, Beauty Lover. Married at 15, 2 kids already. Yeah. Papa, can you hear me? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh, that's goofy statutory laws. Sounds like you're locked in a bucket. Girl. No bucket for me. The police video shows them hauling trash out the front window. Oh, I've got some more pictures. This is the back. They might have mowed grass for people to make money. They got like a little wagon there. Here we go. Okay. I've got the release. MacArthur, Ohio, Attorney General Andy Wilson, Vinton County Sheriff Ray Kane, and Vinton County Prosecutor William Archer today provided an update on the ongoing investigation following the execution of a search warrant on Tuesday morning at the residence on Ohmer Street in Hamden. At approximately 10 a.m. Tuesday, law enforcement executed court-authorized search warrants as part of an ongoing investigation involving allegations of domestic abuse and child neglect. During the execution of the warrant, investigators located 16 children inside the residence. Gary Siders Jr., Elizabeth Siders, Gary Siders Sr., and Christina Siders were arraigned at the Vinton County Court of Common Pleas at 10:30 a.m. this morning. Each is charged with 17 counts. Now it's 16 counts, by the way, of endangerment children. a second-degree felony, all remain in jail on a $300,000 bond. The 16 children were removed from the home and are in temporary custody of the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services. The children were initially transported to local hospitals for evaluation. Some were treated and released, while others were transported to elevated medical care and remained hospitalized in serious condition. Quote, this case continues to reveal the unimaginable conditions these children were forced to endure. I said yesterday that what investigators encountered was pure evil, and the evidence we've uncovered since only reinforces that assessment, end quote. Attorney General Wilson said, quote, our focus remains protecting these children, supporting their recovery, and ensuring everyone responsible is held fully accountable under Ohio law, end quote. As the investigation has progressed, investigators have learned that members of the Siders family have lived in multiple Ohio counties since 2008. Investigators believe the family largely avoided establishing medical and other governmental records during that time. The conditions these children were lived in were horrific, and we are sickened by it. Fortunately, the tragic chapter has closed, but the recovery will take time, end quote, Sheriff Kane said. Also, quote, our investigators will continue following the evidence wherever it leads, end quote. At the time, investigators have found no evidence of any threats to the public. Based upon the evidence developed thus far, investigators believe the case involves prolonged and extreme interfamiliar neglect and abuse. The investigation remains ongoing and will be conducted by the Vinton County Sheriff's Office and the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, with assistance with the Hamden County Fire Department, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and the Jackson County Job and Family Services. Additional charges are expected to be brought by the Vinton County Prosecutor's Office as more information is uncovered. Anyone with information about this case is encouraged to contact the investigators by calling 855-BCI Ohio, 855-BCI Ohio. Which, when you got the warrant for the LEV, came upon a horrific case. The house must have had at least one bathroom. Imagine the toilet paper bill. Baby, I don't think they had a toilet paper bill. They didn't. The Turpins, they were intentionally mean toward these children, toward their children, abuseful and neglectful. Now, it's going to be interesting to know about this family. Were they, I mean, the neglect and the abuse was mean, but were they vengeful toward these children? You know what I mean? I don't know, Jane Doe. I don't know. It's crazy. 1 second here. But yeah, her eyes are red as hell. Here we go. This is the little town. I think 1800. This is inside the home. This house will probably be condemned and torn down. Probably the city will take it. She's either been crying or she got some real bad conjunctivitis or some bad allergies. But from the outside, I mean, their yard is clean, but so was the Turpins. They lived in a nice house, from what I remember. There's the railroad track. So bad, man. Someone rescue that cat, please. Just absolutely unimaginable. Unimaginable. Oh, look at the little kitties. Look at the kitty cats. So cute. Little Oreo. Are the adults sober? I think so. I think so. I know my country, AZ State, would be able and willing to help fund the recovery for these kids. I'm not sure how we'll be able to offer the same care. What do you mean, Joe? Sweet little kitty cats. Look at that, guys. There's a high chair there. Oh my God. They said the stench just stuck with you. They say that she's the one that's the evil one. I don't know. Happy birthday to my oldest granddaughter, Coily Elizabeth Siders. Hard to believe you are 18 today. Love you, Nana and Papa Russell. 3/31/2008. Happy birthday to my daughter Elizabeth. My youngest is 28 today. I showed y'all that earlier. This is Elizabeth. I don't want anyone putting pictures on my Facebook. I remember that. My sister just wrapped her life up. 20 kids and younger than me. Oh, look at this. Jeremy Russell. The math equals immature piece of shit man involved. I met this dude a couple months ago, shook my hand like a baby would, super soft hands. Definitely never worked a day in his life. I should have him out that night. I was thinking about my sister. I was happy to see, been 15 years. You lost touch with your family. Followed another, look what happened. That's the brother. My sister just wrapped up her life due to indoctrination. It is 100% real. I do believe that. Happy birthday to my daughter, Elizabeth. It's hard to believe. My youngest is 28 today. Love you, Mom and Dad. I see myself as a rogue saint. 100, I can turn up, blink of an eye. I don't either. I ain't seen her in 15 years, Joey says. Then Mom called me when it happened. That's the first time I saw her. These Ukraine people, Chief and Heather Marie, has been having people attack my 16-year-old daughter. Oh, there's a truck back there too. There's a truck there. I don't know if that's the same truck or not, but just craziness. I don't know, guys. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys for joining me on this one. Do appreciate you all. I know that a lot of you have been interested in this case. We're going to continue to follow this case and see what happens. JR was a DoorDash driver. Yeah. Elizabeth was constantly pregnant. Yeah. Having 2 sets of twins in 1 year. Not literally 9 months apart. I mean, like, I don't understand why. I guess that they have these kids to control them, like they're afraid they're going to leave them if they're not pregnant or something. It's crazy to me. I know. Get off of me. Get off somewhere else. How about that, mother chicken? That's what I would tell him. Get off of me and get off somewhere else. You know what I mean? That's just nuts. Happy 4th. Yes, tomorrow is the 4th. Make sure you drink a 5th. No, I'm just kidding. Go take a cold shower. Something. That's all I can tell you. I will be here tomorrow. So join me tomorrow. I'll be here at different points. We're going to go watch the let off fireworks and stuff tomorrow night. So I will probably either be here earlier or later, or both, one or the other. But I'm going to try to be live at 3 or 4 tomorrow. Tomorrow's your niece's birthday. Nice. Put out a release about Nancy Guthrie. I've got so many cases I'm working on right now. It's crazy. Justin, did you hear the story of the 1-year-old that drowned and found alive in the morgue? I did. Yes. And that's amazing to me that they can say someone is dead now and take them to a morgue. Like, maybe the vitals came back. Maybe it's a miracle or something like that. Yep. 1-year-old was in a morgue. They found him alive. Yep. Let me see here what TMZ is going through. Or let me look at this real quick before I go with. I've got to do some research tonight on some stuff. So everyone is losing their minds over Travis and Kelsey right now. TMZ, Nancy Guthrie. When did it come out? When did the thing come out with TMZ? You said they put out a statement or something? 9 hours ago, the Nancy Guthrie twist nobody was expecting. Man admits sending fake ransom letters. That's Derek. Okay, I'll look at it. I don't give a rat's ass about them. Oh, I love Travis and Kelsey, but, you know, they're like people, you know, like we all are. I just seen it pop up on screen. Can you email it to me if you see something, if there's something? How could that happen in 2026? I don't know. Thank God that baby's alive. I hope he's okay. All right, guys, get some rest for us Americans. In about 15 minutes, it's July 4th. It's our 250th year of this country called America. Zevia coming in clutch right before I sign off. How about that? Love you, Zevia. Thank you so much, Margaret. Welcome to the Pearl family. Thank you, some of these. Love your little picture, Zevia. Thank you so much, my dear. And Happy Turtle coming in clutch for me. I need to thank y'all for the gifts. And my phone's dead. I guess I cannot thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. If I missed any, I really apologize. It's never intentional. My phone is dead. I got to go charge it. Happy Canada Day to you guys a couple days ago, to our friends to the north, and wherever you are, happy whatever it is to you guys. I will be in front of my Obama shrine all day tomorrow. Well, you have fun with that, Joe. You have a good time with that, baby. You know, I support whatever coconut shell you love or pray to, or whatever you know, whatever. So I support you, Joe. Okay, guys. Thank you, Happy Turtle, for being a Pearl for 6 months. Appreciate you. All right, guys, get some rest. Take good care of yourselves. Hug your loved ones. We're going to be dust. Like, if you live 100 years, it's not that serious. Like, enjoy your life. You only get so many trips around the sun. Make it count. Make it count. Thank you, Summer Breeze. Excellent live. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Love you. Kisses all the way. Make sure you're subbed up to my Kick. I will be doing Kick lives when I will not be doing YouTube lives. So you want to make sure you're subbed up on my Kick over there as well. That's right. Enjoy your life. Enjoy it. Make it count. All right, guys. Much love. Good night. God bless. Happy 4th. Or wherever you are. Good night.